boy, do I have a treat for you. Beijing Auto Show is in full swing right now, and we got some amazing new vehicles from Mazda, Toyota, Nissan. Honda's even getting on the action. We're going to break those down today, but before we get into it, there's this breaking news right here, and this will be official by the end of the day, and I will probably re-report on this, but over here in North America and Canada, Honda spending $11 billion on EV assembly battery output in Canada. Absolutely insane how much money they're plowing into EVs. And speaking of EVs, I'm actually here in Santa Barbara in California to drive the new Acura ZDX, which is the first EV from Acura. So let's get into the juiciness here. We have a new Mazda sedan. This is called the EZ6, and we also have an EV, it looks like the CX-5 electric. Mazda should be launching this EZ6 here in 2024, and hopefully this amazing Arata concept very soon thereafter. So let's go ahead and break down the images of these Mazda gorgeous concepts. Here first, I guess you could say the designer's drawings. Of course, they are stunning. Now this vehicle is based off of an existing Chinese vehicle. I believe it's the Chang'an SL03. Mazda is a joint venture with Chang'an, and here, my gosh, guys, I think it's really cool looking. Is this the nighttime light, or is that some sort of camera there? No, those look like to be the nighttime lights, and then we have quite an elaborate daytime running light thing going on. Now, these little lines right here remind me of the refreshed CX-5 that came out I think in 2022, 2023. So definitely a lot of Mazda design elements here. Additional lighting on the edge of the bezel. Now, the grille is a grille in visibility only. This is a big shield. You could say, let's say the ZDX I'm driving today also kind of has a faux grille to it. But that's what makes the cars look more traditional, more, I guess, earthly instead of these weird spaceship looking things. All right. Here's it charging. Looks good. Door handle sectioned to the side. We have a fully glass roof. Only window surround that's not black is here at this bottom line. And notice this is not like a digital side mirror here. So this is pretty much ready for production. Should be coming out, like I said, this year. EZ6. And what do you think about these rear taillights? They look a lot like a Nissan rear taillight set up here on a sedan that we'll talk about in a second. Quite elaborate. To me, it's a little busy, but it doesn't look bad. Look at these seats. Holy cow. We have speakers built into the headrest. Mazda embossed here on the shoulder area. It's beautiful diamond stitching and quilting going on. Ambient lighting. Even the rear seats are getting some nice attention. Let's see here. Yes, this is the right way. We have what looks to be wood or faux wood inside of the dash, ambient lighting, and look at this suede. This is that amazing suede material that we've seen Mazda use on the CX-90 here. Oh my gosh. Why can't we get this in the United States? It's crickets about the Mazda 6 return. This is the EZ6, but I think this would be quite phenomenal. Now, notice this is a trend over in China especially, and you can say it has filtered into the United States with Tesla and some of the German automakers, but everything is in the touchscreen here. Not my favorite thing. Prefer to have physical dials. It's safer. It's easier to interact with when you're driving. But this, even the door panel here, the stitching, the speaker grill, everything looks really nice. Love the two-tone steering wheel. Touch capacitive buttons here on the steering wheel. Again, other than the OK button and I don't know what this is, 360 button, which is like safety features. Other than that, it's all touch capacitive. This is very common nowadays, especially on EVs. Your drive stalk is up here instead of taking up room down here. Looks pretty nice. I don't mind these wheels, kind of these 5 flower petal spoke wheels. Here it is from the front. Different paint color. Oh, we have an adjustable and a dynamic spoiler. Mazda stepping up the game here. Looking at the back seat, lots of visibility with that large glass roof. Looking at this screen for the first time, it looks pretty good. It doesn't give us any indication of range or anything like that. We just see 70% there. But looks like navigation can flow over to this screen. It looks like tire pressure, that sort of thing. Not bad. Oh my gosh, the front seat reclines with an ottoman. What is this? Man, is China getting all the cool cars nowadays? Look at Mazda into this double opening, because there's another one on the other side. This button opens up the console. Space underneath. I'm getting really jelly pants at this point in time with this vehicle. All right, moving on to the Arata. It should be coming in some shape or form probably by the end of 2025, maybe 2026. This is it looks like an EV version of a CX-5, and it looks super cool. All right, so kind of like I mentioned, the ZDX, we have this illuminated grille here, and like the Mazda 3 Turbo with the Aero kit, we kind of have this really aggressive bottom portion here. By the way, I have at home, when I get back home, the new refreshed Indy 3 Miata. Can't wait to drive it for you guys. I drove my kid to school in it, and besides her throwing a fit, it was a great time. All right, the rear here, a vertical rear third brake light here. This is definitely concept because you don't see a rear windshield wiper. Of course, that would have to be down here or tucked in somewhere up here in the production model. Rear taillights looking pretty sleek here. It looks great. Here's our first look at the profile. Are you guys getting Mazda CX-5 vibes? These wheels are enormous. They look super cool. It's like black glass. It's been shattered. Mazda illuminated here on the more rugged portion of the bottom of the door panels. I'm getting almost a little bit CX-30 here too. Not a bad thing. From the side, it feels more like CX-5 to me though. What a cool looking concept. This thing, oh man, I think it would do well here. Is this front end a little too aggressive for you? I understand if it is. Again, it's a concept. These side mirrors more likely will turn into mirrors. Let's get into Toyota real quick. These are not new. We saw these concepts before, but now we have official naming for them. So we have the BZ3C, this yellow concept wagon thing, and the BZ3X, which is kind of like an MPV crossover wagon, minivan sort of thing. So let's get into these images. Let's start with the BZ3C. We could get a BZ3C here in the United States. Remember the BZ Sport? I can't even think of the concept name, but it was in LA a couple years ago at the LA Auto Show I showed for you guys. And that's very similar to this, obviously. So we could be getting a North American version of this. Stay tuned, though. I mean, they might just call it a RAV4 Coupe EV or something. Who knows? Anyways, I wouldn't be surprised if Toyota is getting away from the BZ stuff here in North America because it's been such a joke. So there are talks that the new 3-row EV coming out of Kentucky is not going to be the BZ5X. It could be the new Highlander, fully EV. All right. So anyways, I mean, there's not much to say here. I've already seen this concept before. Now it's more in like a production form here. Again, everything baked into the touchscreen, and with red interior, whatever. All right. In typical Toyota fashion nowadays, the screen here, if we look at the BZ4X, speaking of which, I'm driving the Subaru Solterra. That's at home when I get back as well. But anyways, the screen's pushed all the way pretty much towards the glass. Here's the BZ3X. Short of sliding doors, it looks kind of like a minivan or the Kia Carnival minivan. And you can see the hammerhead design here is pretty evident. Like we have on the new Camry, like we had on this guy as well. It is what it is, pretty basic, light bar across the back. It's very Toyota. It's very minimal, has strong lines to it, but it's not over the top with design, even as a Chinese model. This interior looks scrumptious. I like this. I mean, who's like in America, no one's doing this. We not only have stitching, we have a little button here. We have this unique design for the perforation. Even cool design here for the perforation. We just don't get that sort of attention to detail in America. A very interesting pattern here on the dash with ambient lights, of course, double phone charger, center console, two-tone steering wheel. This looks almost like suede, and this looks more like a Mazda steering wheel. And they've gone the full-on Tesla route here with just 2 scroll wheels. Ugh. Anyways, the screen here is not pushed towards the glass like it is on that BZ3C, and then everything's into the touchscreen like a Tesla. So it looks nicer on the inside than a Tesla, but they are doing everything in a touchscreen, no buttons situation. All right, full-on glass roof here, BZ3X, looking pretty nice from the back as well. All right, let's get into Nissan here. They have new EV concepts or new energy vehicle concepts. These 2 on the right, I believe, are the EVs, and the 2 on the left are the plug-in hybrids. There's the Epoch EV concept sedan. There's the Epic concept EV SUV. There's the Era concept plug-in hybrid SUV, and then there's the Evo concept plug-in hybrid sedan. And Nissan provided an enormous amount of images for these vehicles. So let's go ahead and get into it. This interior looks a lot, guys. Didn't we just look at the BZ3X's interior? Look how similar this interior is to this interior. Kind of the same like gold and beige tones. Maybe that's popular in China right now. All right, ambient lighting with this kind of gradient pattern on the door panels that go into the dash here. Again, everyone's doing the scroll wheels like Tesla. Drive stock here on the steering wheel column. Everything's in the touchscreen. All these EVs look the same. Essentially, at this point, we have compressible cup holders. I think that's a nice touch, to be honest. Now, this is the Evo model. So this is actually the plug-in hybrid sedan, if I remember correctly. And I mean, it's kind of like it looks like a Sentra or Altima-sized vehicle. I like the curves here on the hips. I'm not a big fan of the overall design, though. In some ways, it kind of reminds me of the EV6 from Hyundai, or the Ioniq 6 from Hyundai, not the EV6 from Korea, or not the EV6 from Kia. What am I looking at here? So this is the Era. This is the plug-in hybrid SUV. Now look how similar the interior is. They do that for cost reasons, but we have like an essential oil diffuser here, 2 massive screens just plopped onto the dash. I think that's absolutely hideous. Just in terms of symmetry, this looks terrible. Really, really bad. Who needs this much screen space? Hopefully they get rid of that in the production version. Screen here, you'll have a head-up display, a pop-up speaker, which I like this. I like how the speakers come out of the dash. It looks nice. So it does differentiate itself just a little bit from that Evo plug-in hybrid sedan. I mean, these seats look nice. These headrests look really, really ugly, but they do remind me of airliner headrests, which are good for sleeping if you need to sleep in your car. But man, those headrests look pretty ugly. All right, here's what the Era plug-in hybrid looks on the outside, and I'm just going to skip through this because I think it's really ugly. All right, the Epoch EV. Now, Nissan will be building an EV sedan here in the United States in 2027. It might be pushed back to 2027 at this point, and this could have some similarities between the two. Door handles flush, actual side mirrors instead of digital side mirrors, and these rear taillights are similar to that Mazda EZ6 concept that we just talked about at the start of this video. This is very pleasing to the eye compared to the last 2 concepts, in my opinion. It looks like a little bit of that Aria sort of boomerang situation going on here. Full-on light bar that goes all the way across. It looks interesting and pleasing to the eye compared to the other 2 cars. Absolutely. A little bit of, you could say, lucid air maybe on the front too, but this is more compact. Look how short this overhang is here from the A-pillar forward. I mean, the overhang from the tire to the front, it's noticeable. It's not terrible though. large interior space for the occupants, which is a great thing. Yeah, I'm happy with the Epoch EV. We'll see if any of this makes its way to the United States. All right, lastly, here is this is the Epic. So this is a fully electric EV at this point, and the interior looks nearly identical to whatever the plug-in hybrid version of this vehicle was. So nothing really to see here. This is the fully electric version of the SUV. It looks, other than the roof rails, it looks pretty much identical to the plug-in hybrid. I mean, what is going? There's not even headlight. Oh, the headlights are probably down here. I mean, this is just busy. I see like a zebra when I look at the front of this. Way too busy of a headlight design for me. All right, and we have one last automaker we're going to cover today here on the list. Honda has a few joint ventures in China, just like most of these automakers from Japan. And so we have the new EN-P2, the second model of the EN series. So EN-P1 has already been on the market since 2022. This looks like an Audi to me. Does it? Let me know down below. Do you think this looks like an e-tron, just different styling on the front? That's not a bad thing. I mean, the e-trons are gorgeous. So Audi makes very, very impressive vehicles. And I feel like that's what Honda's design language has been for the past few years. They want to have more of a European Volkswagen, clean lines, very straight, very, I wouldn't say motionless, but look at the new Accord, the Civic, much more like toned back design compared to the more anime designs of let's say like what the 10th gen Civic, for example. They also have the YA vehicles. So we have the YA P7, the YA S7, and the YA GT Concept. Concept is here. It's kind of like it looks like a Polestar 2 mixed with an EV6 from Kia. You also have the YA S7, which is super sporty looking, but it's the same vehicle as the YA P7. And the P7 has very similar headlights to what we see on the EN-P2. I know the names are really hard for me. The sun's barely up here. That's why I'm not on camera right now. But that's about all I have. I mean, we can cycle back to this announcement, but we will 100% have an official announcement from Honda. I got confirmation on that since I'm at the ZDX event. So we'll have some information here today officially, but Automotive News has the freaking scoop, guys. Trudeau will be there, Canadian Prime Minister. We'll have other officials in the government there to welcome in this huge investment from Honda of $11 billion. And it will be 55 miles north of Toronto. This has been in the works seemingly for about 2 years now. Honda's also investing in 2 joint venture supplier plants in other cities in the province in Ontario. One plant with South Korea-based partner POSCO Future M, and they will produce precursor and cathode active material for Honda's battery cells. The other headed by Japan-based chemical company Asahi Kasei, and they will produce battery separators. And this is a record investment, $11 billion. That eclipses the previous record of Volkswagen's $5 billion. And there's other things going on as well. I mean, we know Honda has a huge plant in Alliston, Ontario, so this is just them glorifying that plant for the EV transition for them. Now, we also have Northvolt investing $7 billion cell plant for batteries in Montreal. We have LG Energy and Stellantis having a battery plant in Canada. And it's just insane how many deals Canada is getting for production of EVs, especially. The Prologue is already on the market. They talked about how it's made in Mexico. The ZDX is also not made in Mexico. It's made in Spring Hill, Tennessee with the Lyric. But yeah, Honda's, we thought they were kind of like moving slowly, but they're the only Japanese automaker that has a deadline by 2040 to be fully EV. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Anyways, stay tuned for more of this with the official announcement later today. I don't know if I'll be able to report on it today. Oh, this is not the normal CRV, because this bumper is unique to the plug-in hybrid fuel cell CRV, which can't even be fueled because fuel cell stations are closing here in California. Whatever. Anyways, I got to shut it down, go have breakfast, and then drive the ZDX for you guys. I'm really excited. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, it's built by General Motors, but guys, it's a gorgeous SUV. It's got tons of styling to it. It has tons of street presence, and I can't wait to show it and drive it for you guys. May 2nd is the embargo for the ZDX. So I got to shut down. I'll catch you in the next one. Hit the like button for all the stuff we covered today, and have a great day. Bye.